All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller, and I'm going to be your yoga instructor today. So, welcome to week 19 of this Yoga for Pregnancy series. If you're joining us again, welcome back. If you're a first timer, welcome in. Nice to have you. So, this series is really designed to help you get into your body and care for your body in the midst of your pregnancy. So the classes are kind of building on each other toward the grand finale of being 9 months or 9 months and a few weeks pregnant. But just keep in mind here that, you can be popping in and out of different weeks, but just be mindful of your boundaries. You'll reach a point where you can't be on your back or you can't be on your belly, and that's okay. You're welcome to modify. You can take these practices as they come. So, a few things to note before we get started. Notice your boundaries. Are you ready to extend into postures? Do you need to modify and come down to the mat or find that center posture? As we get further along in our pregnancies, it's really important to know that our body starts to literally loosen up as it prepares to birth a child. So, keeping in mind not to stretch too far, finding your edge, and then probably pulling back a little bit, just so we're being mindful and not doing any kind of strain or damage to our bodies. Also, keep in mind, I don't often cue water. So, if and when you feel thirsty, which you probably do all the time now, feel free to step off your mat, grab that drink, and then join us whenever you feel ready. And finally, I just want to say welcome to all of the partners, family members, big and small, or friends that are here practicing with the expecting mother. It's really great to do these practices with others. It creates a sense of community and support. So, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and come into a comfortable seat. Your legs can be crossed, they can be straight out in front of you. I am sitting up on a prop on the low side of the block that helps lift the hips and makes it easier to sit up nice and tall, but it's an option, not a requirement. We're going to wiggle back and forth and root down into the sits bones, and we'll sit up nice and tall here. Let's inhale, draw our shoulders forward and up. Exhale as we drop them back and down. Inhale those shoulders forward and up. Exhale, drop them back and down. Good. Hands come into a comfortable position, whether on your knees, palms up or down, or in your lap. You're welcome to close the eyes if you'd like, or just find an unmoving point and soften your gaze. And we're starting this practice, as we have in this entire series, with a breathing practice to help you connect to your baby. So if you'd like, you're welcome to place a hand on your belly, a hand on your chest. Again, eyes open or closed. And start by just noticing the movements of the breath without changing them in any way whatsoever. Take a nice full inhale through the nose, filling the belly, lungs, and chest with air. And slowly exhale that breath out. Take another nice full inhale, fill the belly, lungs, and chest with air. And slowly exhale that breath out. Good. On the next inhale, imagine breathing in all of the love that you could possibly offer for your baby. And then on the next exhale, breathing out all of baby's love that they could possibly offer to you. Inhale, breathing in purity for baby. Exhale, breathing out baby's purity for you. Inhale, contentment for baby. Exhale, baby's contentment for you. Inhale, self-discipline for baby. Exhale, baby, self-discipline for you. Inhale, introspection for baby. Exhale, baby's introspection for you. Inhale, surrender for baby. Exhale, baby, surrender for you. Inhale, love for baby. Exhale, baby's love for you. Taking several more breaths in this way, inhaling whatever it is you would like to offer baby, as we've already offered them the second five of the second half of the yamas and niyamas here. You could repeat those or choose something else that you would like to welcome in for baby, and making sure on the exhales that baby is sending that right back to you. When you've completed that last exhale there, releasing the hands down onto your legs or in your lap, and just noticing the breath for a moment as it moves in and out of your body without any control here. And then finally, set an intention or a purpose for your practice today, which really can be anything at all, but it often answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a nice deep inhale as you feel that intention with your heart and mind. And then exhale that breath out, setting the intention off to the side, knowing we'll return to it toward the end of our practice. Lovely. Gently opening the eyes here. We're going to go ahead and remove that prop. If you are using one, set it off to the side so you've got some space and come into a nice seated position here on your mat. I prefer to have legs crossed, but you're welcome to do whatever feels most comfortable for you. We'll start by inhale, sweeping the arms wide, bring them up overhead, cast the gaze skyward. Exhale, twist over to the right, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the body as you curve your head around into a seated twist. Inhale brings you back into center, arms come tall. Exhale twists you over to the right, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the body. Curve your head on around for a seated twist. Inhale brings you into center, arms come tall. Exhale, twisting over to the left, really curving that nose around, bringing the twist all the way up into the neck. Good. Inhale comes into center. Exhale brings you all the way over to the right. Keeping in mind, seated twists are a great way to help aid digestion, which kind of gets all wonky when you're pregnant. So, keeping these postures in mind. Good. Inhale back into center. Exhale over to the left. One more time each side. Not going further than you can, reaching that edge or maybe just shy of that edge. Inhaling back into center. Exhale, twisting over to the right. So we're opening up our spine by twisting in both directions here. That's two of the six movements of the spine. Good. And then inhale, come back into center. Exhale, drop the left hand down to the mat, step that hand out to the left, and then reach over to the left with those right fingers seated side bend. So feel the pull through the right side body as you press into the left hand to stay rooted through your right hip. Good. Right shoulder is stacked. So if your right arm is kind of down in front of you, move that bicep so it's over the ear. You shouldn't be able to see that arm at all here. Nice and open through the chest, feeling that lovely opening as you reach through those fingers. Ah, I love side bends. And our side bends are the other two movements of the spine. So now we're up to four here once we complete the opposite side. These are great to do in the morning or the evening. You could do both, get you ready for the day, get you cooled down for the night before sleep. Good. Inhale comes into center, switch sides. Right hand drops, step it about a foot out to the right. Exhale, lean over to the right, reach through those left fingers, seated side bend. So again, pull through the left side of the body. You're not doing anything, but you're feeling that stretch, right? Pressing into the right hand to stay rooted through the left hip. That shoulder is stacked, so the torso is open. Bicep is over the ear. We're reaching through those left fingers. Such a good stretch. May make you. It may make you want to yawn. Side bends always make me want to yawn. I don't know what it is. Good. Feeling that nice full side body stretch here. Oh, that opening through the ribs. This can feel especially nice as you get further along in your pregnancy and your baby starts kind of jutting up to your ribs here. Good. Inhale back into center, dropping those hands down. Nice work. We're going to go ahead and come into a wide-legged seated position here. So you want to just bring your legs out at a 45-degree angle. Doesn't have to be super wide, doesn't have to be super close, kind of that middle posture here. And we're going to go ahead and root into our sits bones here. We'll sit up nice and tall. Good. And then inhale as you lengthen through the spine. Exhale as you hinge at your hips and focus on pressing the heart center and that straight back forward, coming into a wide-legged forward fold here. So you can be using your hands for support. If it feels better, you can always grab a prop and place that underneath the hands or the forearms here. That can make things a little bit easier. As we come into our wide-legged forward fold here, we want to make sure that our toes are pointing up toward the sky. So if you find they're starting to curve in, go ahead and engage those toes with the ceiling or the sky here. Maybe you're outside, which would be lovely. Again, we're pressing forward with the heart center instead of the nose. So we're keeping that nice flat back. Our gaze is down toward the floor. So we're long through the neck here. We don't want to be cricking our head up like I'm doing, looking at you, or really hunching it over and looking down beneath the belly. Okay. And again, you can start with the prop. You can always set it off to the side as you discover, like, hey, I'm able to sink a little bit deeper. And then again, keeping in mind our boundaries, notice, are you ready to reach that edge and can you get close to it instead of actually touching the edge here? Just keeping in mind how pregnancy really changes the body. Breathing. Good. And then inhale, go ahead, walk yourself back on up into center. Move your props off to the side. We're going to take our right leg and go ahead and bring that knee so it's kind of right in front of us as much as possible. And we're tucking that right heel into our left hip in our left glute area. We're then going to stack our left knee on top of the right as much as possible. And then that right leg will kind of heel toe its way back out. So we're trying to get our legs kind of in a line here. It doesn't have to be perfect. So as I brought that right leg out, woo, I'm starting to feel it. So welcome into cow face pose here. This is a very, very intense stretch, but it's a great one for the hips and the outer leg here. If you're experiencing any sciatica pain or discomfort in the midst of your pregnancy, woo, this is a great practice for you. And it's helpful because it's seated. So coming into this seated position, notice the tendency to lean over onto the right hip and see if you can press down into the left hip, squaring the hips here. That may mean you have to adjust the legs a little bit. If this top leg wants to pop up, mine is on the floor, but if your foot wants to pop up, you can always slide a block, a rolled up towel, a pillow, a small dog, just kidding, underneath it here. We're sitting up nice and tall. We're breathing into that sensation here in the hips, noticing the stretch through the outside of that right leg and then into that left hip here. Whew. We're breathing. Hands can be here on the legs, they can be down on your feet or on your shins. If you're like, I could use a little bit more of a stretch, you're welcome to hinge at the hips and lean forward slightly. That's going to deepen it right away. But again, not going further than the body is ready or pushing too far here. Just a couple breaths. Good. And then inhale, we're going to come onto the opposite side. So take your hands and come over to the right, place them to the inside of the leg. And I want you to lean over onto your right foot and press up onto the balls of your feet. So you're kind of in this weird lunge kind of thing. Good. Now you're going to pivot on the balls of your feet. Your feet will stay where they are, but pivot on the balls of your feet and walk yourself all the way around to the opposite side, crossing the legs in the opposite direction. So welcome to cow face pose on the opposite side. If that did not work for you, no problem. Simply uncross your legs. Go ahead and bring that left knee so it's in front of you, heels curled around to the right glute, and then stack that right leg on top here. And then heel toe that left leg out slightly. Again, getting our legs so they're kind of in a line here for this cow face pose. So welcome in, opposite side. Notice the tendency to lean over to the right. I'm doing it, right? Go ahead and press down into that right hip here. Good. We're sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine. Now we're really feeling that stretch on the outside of the left leg and then into the right hip as well. This is a deep stretch. We're doing it on both sides. And notice it may be easier or more difficult to cross your legs on one side than the other. What's important is that we do it on both sides. It's not necessarily important that it's perfect or exactly the same on both sides, right? Symmetry happens when we do the same things on both sides. And so just being kind to yourself as you get into these postures. Hands can be, again, on the knees. Maybe they're on the shins or on your feet if you'd like. If this is not a deep enough stretch for you, you're welcome to hinge at the hips and lean forward slightly here. Again, not going too far into that edge. I want you to breathe here. I want you to notice sensation. Kind of keep in mind, too, how does it differ from side to side? And again, if that right foot is wanting to lift up off the floor, you're welcome to put a block or another prop underneath it to kind of help support that opening here. Couple deep breaths. Great work. Let's go ahead and lean over to the left, gently uncross the legs here. We're going to bring our knees up into little mountains as we lean back onto our hands. We want them just a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. And then we'll windshield wipe those knees back and forth, making sure that the knees kiss the ground on either side. We're kind of rolling along the glutes. We're releasing the hips, the low backs here. And this is actually just a great movement to do every day during pregnancy. It helps open up those hips, get the blood flowing, kind of helps with that movement and that opening through that pelvic region. So not only is it a good release for deep stretches like cow face pose, but it's also great to do as you're moving through your pregnancy here. Now, whenever you feel complete in that, let's go ahead and come back into a seated position. I'm going to come back onto a block. We're going to be stretching out our arms here. It makes it a little bit easier to sit up nice and tall if you've got a prop. If you have a folding chair, another sturdy chair, you could always sit on the edge of that as well and sit up nice and tall. All right. So we're going to do eagle arms really to open up that torso and really open up the upper back here. So let's go ahead and start by bringing our arms out wide to a T. And then exhale, bring your arms in front of you, crossing your right arm over your left. Bend the elbows. Now, if this is all the flexibility you have, back of the hands can come to touch here, right? And keeping those elbows in front of you. If it's accessible, go ahead and continue to wrap that right arm around the left, bringing those palms and fingers to touch on the inside. So now we're feeling a stretch through our back as our shoulder blades are separating here. We're going to go ahead and inhale, lift those fingers up toward the sky. Ooh, feeling the elbows lift as well. And now we're deepening that stretch in through the arms. Good. Take a nice couple full breaths here. See if you can press those elbows directly out in front of you as well, deepening that stretch a little bit more. One more nice full breath. Excellent. And then inhale, gently untwist your arms. Go ahead and bring them out wide to a T here. And then crossing in the opposite direction. So bring those arms in front of you, cross the left over the right this time. Bend at the elbows, bring the back of the hands to touch. If this is all the flexibility you have, great. Feel free to stay right here. Otherwise, continue to wrap that left arm around the right so palms and fingers come to touch here. Good. Now, when you're ready, inhale, lift those fingers toward the ceiling here, lifting the elbows as well, deepening that stretch. Staying rooted through the sits bones, pelvis is slightly tucked, core is engaged here. It's easy to arch out the back, but we really want our shoulders to be doing the work here. And then press those elbows slightly forward, like directly out in front of you here. So we're really deepening that opening through the upper back here. Couple deep breaths. Good. Inhale, gently releases those arms. Go ahead and bring them out to the sides. Drop those hands down. Nice. Inhale, draw those shoulders forward and up. Exhale them back and down. Inhale the shoulders forward and up. Exhale them back and down. Good. And then inhale the shoulders back and up. Exhale them forward and down. Inhale them back and up. Exhale them forward and down. Nice work here. All right, we're going to stretch out our neck just a little bit here. So adjusting your position as you need, rooted through the sits bones, long spine. And we're going to take our chin and we're going to dip it down toward our chest. So first, noticing that lengthening through the spine. Shoulders are shrugged down. You're pressing into the surface beneath you. Your core is gently engaged here. And then on the next inhale, gently roll one ear over to one shoulder before dropping the chin back to the chest and then rolling over to the opposite shoulder. So completing half moons on the front side of your body here, rolling one ear to one shoulder, taking nice full breaths as you do this. And then the other ear to the other shoulder, really tuning into sensation as you open up the neck here. See if you can almost imagine as you're moving, you're plucking all of the strings, all the ligaments of your neck along your spine here, offering them that chance at this gentle movement, this gentle opening. Good. And when you've completed a round of that final round on that opposite side, inhale, drop your chin back to your chest. Good. And then on the next exhale, go ahead and lift your chin, look straight up toward the sky, and try to lift your chin as far as you possibly can. So stay neutral through your torso, but lift your chin up, jut your chin out as if you have a massive underbite, as if you're trying to touch the chin toward the ceiling, and feel that pull through the neck, through the bottom of the chin, down into the top of the collarbone area, into the top of the chest. Good. And then inhale, let's return back to center. Nice work here. We're going to go ahead and make our way down onto our back. So if you need a towel off, grab a drink of water, put on socks or a jacket. Now is your opportunity, as we will not sit up for the rest of our practice today as we get ready for final relaxation. Okay. So coming down onto your back here, tucking your knees into your chest, wrapping your arms around the legs, giving yourself a little squeeze, or hands around knees as well, depending on how big your belly is or shins. You can rock from side to side if that feels good. If you're at the stage in your pregnancy where you can't be on your back, feel free to just go ahead and lay right down onto your side already, preparing for final relaxation. Good. Then coming into stillness, drop those soles of the feet down to the floor here, preparing for final relaxation. So soles of the feet can be down, knees up. You're welcome to stay right here. You can allow the knees to fall open wide, soles of the feet to come together for reclined bound angle. You could extend one leg or the other for fallen tree, or you could extend both legs for traditional final relaxation. Finding a comfortable spot for your hands, whatever that looks like for you, it's really up to you. Or you're also welcome to roll onto your side hand or a block beneath the head here. You could also put a block beneath your belly, depending on how big it is. It can be a really nice little lift there, if you'd like. You're also welcome to just return to a seated position and treat this final part of our practice like a seated meditation. Totally up to you, whatever you prefer. And as you find your way into this position, begin to notice your breath. Notice how fast or slow it's moving, how deep or shallow. Notice the quality of each breath on your inhales, the quality of each breath on your exhales. Feeling the gentle rise and fall of your belly, the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Just noticing that air as it moves in and out of your nose, up and down your throat. Allowing your attention to rest here gently on the breath. Now, if and when you notice that your mind wanders off on a thinking adventure, it's okay. It happens to the best of us. So celebrate the fact that you noticed that you wandered away and then come back to the breath, come back to the inhales and exhales. If it's helpful for you, perhaps incorporating a mantra to help you stay grounded and focused on your breath here. Inhale, I am. Exhale, grounded. Inhale, I am. Exhale, grounded. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments here today. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of the practice. So please know that I'm watching the time and I respect yours. So feel free to lean back, let go, and just rest right here with your baby. The seed of compassion and the capacity to listen deeply are in your heart. You just need mindfulness to touch them. Bringing your awareness back to this space, taking a deep inhale through the nose as you fill the belly, lungs, and chest with air, before slowly exhaling your breath back out. Taking another full breath here as you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Move your arms and legs, gently waking your body up. And when it feels right for you, rolling onto one side, pausing there with an arm or a hand beneath your head. It's here that I invite you to bring back to mind your intention or your purpose that you set at the beginning of your practice that answered the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a nice deep inhale here as you make your way on up into your seated position and we close out our practice together. So finding your comfortable seat, rooting down into your sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, those shoulders come forward and up. Exhale, they drop back and down. Hands coming into a comfortable position, whether on your knees, palms up or down, or in your lap. You can also bring your hands to heart center if you'd like, closing the eyes if that feels comfortable for you. We take a moment to express gratitude for yet another lovely day here on earth and our bodies that allow us to do so many things, including practicing yoga and growing a baby. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for week 19 of this Yoga for Pregnancy series here on Wild Blue Yonder Media. If you like this series, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you enjoyed this practice, consider sharing it with a friend, another pregnant gal that you know, to support her on her own pregnancy journey. So I hope you're feeling good, nice in your body, a little bit more relaxed and perhaps at ease and open. So thank you so much for being here. Keep an eye out for the next practice. Pop back into other practices as you have time just to nourish yourself during this time. So thank you so much again. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next practice. Bye.